Satnam, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind and this is your channel for grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. We are going to do mini readings today, like I promised, and we already have 2 people on the list. You guys just have to tell me if you're here. The first person is Kimberly, and the second person is Jeanette. And other than that, no one else is on the list, so the list is wide open. We can do tarot oracle readings, human design readings, gene keys readings, astrology readings of various types. So there's a lot to choose from. If you would like to get a reading, this is a really great opportunity to get some wisdom. Hello, Lucida. Welcome in. Hello, Jeanette. Welcome in. Hello, Rachel. Good to see you here. I'll have to think of a question. Oh, nice. Mindy, hello. Welcome in. So before we actually dive into the readings, and Kimberly, let me know if you're here, I'm going to invite you, obviously, to subscribe to this channel, especially if you're new. Make sure that you hit the notification bell so you get notified of when I go live and when I upload videos. Hello, Joni. Welcome in. Kimberly's here. Yes. Okay. You are number 1. Okay. Also make sure you download my free moon astrology guide, which will tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. It also enters you into my email list, and I send out a weekly moon magic report, which is the horoscope for the week. Speaking of the moon magic report, it was supposed to go out today, but I have been crazy, like basically preparing everything, which leads me to the next announcement for the new global community that is now up and running. It's called the Channel for Grace Global Community. It is a network inside an app called Mighty Networks. So I want all of you guys to come join us there. It's totally free to join. We have like an enhanced community experience is what I'm calling it. I'm able to live stream within the app. I'm able to schedule events. You're able to RSVP to events within the app. You're able to add events to your calendar. I'm going to be doing events in the app. Specifically, the new moon ceremonies, new moon and full moon ceremonies are now no longer going to be on YouTube. They're going to be in the app, which is free. Let me repeat it, which is free, so that you can come into that space, into that sacred space, and join us for those special times during the month. I'm still going to be doing the astrology, the human design, the weekly astrology of the week, mini readings here on YouTube. I'm still here. Like, I'm still totally here, but I wanted to create a really special thing. Plus, I'm able to use my other like stage, which I'm not really able to do here on YouTube, for those special ceremonies, to create that special like visual kind of environment, inviting and appropriate for ceremonies. So I freaking can't wait. Plus, we have virtual dance parties, literally Club Jai, within our special events. And we'll see if we can do a little bit of that on Saturday. So speaking of Saturday, but okay, so to finish that thought, moon magic report, it's going to go out tomorrow morning because there's just a lot going on. I literally had to go into my website and make sure, like, usually when people sign up, they get like an automatic email. So I had to go in and like edit all the automatic emails to take all the old links out and put all the new links in. I had to go into my website and remove all the old links and put the new links and edit the pages. And when people book readings, they have automatic messages, and they all had the old messages. I mean, it was like hours of like sitting there and like detail work, making sure that get rid of all the old links and only put the new links. Also on my Instagram. So like I was doing that all day, and I didn't even get around to do the moon magic report. But I will say, and hello, Myrna. Hello, Raessa. Hello. Did I say hi, Joni? And Nelvin, hello. But I will say that today, Mercury went direct. Thank the Lord Almighty. And we are having the Sun conjunct Pluto, which takes us deep into the depths of the underworld, where we have to find our inner light. So it could be a heavy transit. Most likely it is. I'm feeling really light but also like the depth for me is coming in a different way. I don't know how you guys are experiencing it, but I'm sure there's something there that right now that feels strong, and that's that Sun-Pluto conjunction. So tomorrow is the 19th. We have just one day before the sun enters Aquarius, and guess what? Capricorn season is over, Aquarian season starts, and the new moon comes right after that, and then the Chinese New Year comes right after that. So it's like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is like party. It's like party weekend for us. Say in a sacred ritual way, party weekend. But I am hosting a free event. It will be held in the new platform. The app that you download onto your phone is called Mighty Networks. Just go find that in the App Store and download it, Mighty Networks. And then once you're in there, you'll have to create your account, right? Your login when you enter the community, but you can search Channel for Grace, or you can click the link that's directly below in the description of this video, and it is going to take you directly to it. So you can sign up. It's super easy. You just enter first name, last name, and then your email. And once you're in there, you can create your own profile, and you'll see how like fun it is. Like Joni says, I love it. Yeah, I freaking love it too. I can direct message people. You can direct message each other. You can even post like your bio and stuff like that. Like put an awesome picture for your profile. You can RSVP to events, like I said. You can post comments, like post things like a Facebook kind of a thing, but it's not. And then comment on each other's things and like each other's things. And there's a lot of like conversation. It's just like everything I've ever wanted all in one place. And that's just the free part, which is amazing. And then the other amazing thing about the new community platform, it's that I can actually put all of my courses on there. So when I say everything in one place, I mean everything in one place. All the astrology courses, the Moon Goddess training is going to happen in the app. The astrology course is going to happen in the app. Any kind of like special event, live event will be promoted in the app. And like I mentioned earlier, the new and full moon ceremonies are no longer going to happen on YouTube. They're going to happen in the app. So you want to make sure you go and join. And plus on Saturday, which is our new moon ceremony, we're having the Aquarius new moon ceremony, plus the celebration of the new community, plus the celebration of the Chinese New Year of the rabbit, plus a giveaway. Someone who, like everyone that creates an account between now and the time of the event, which is Saturday, I believe 5. Let me make 100% sure. Saturday the 21st at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern is when we are having that free event. And yeah, we're going to have a freaking blast. And that's where I'm going to do the giveaway. So everyone, it's going to be a free reading, and everyone that has joined the community, the free community, will get an opportunity to win a free reading from me. So I am super excited about it. And eventually, like I'm going to be like posting a lot on there, sharing things on there. I want it to be a very active place where we can share with each other about astrology, about how we feel, about what's happening in our lives, and support each other, and really be there for each other through the craziness of the world right now. I really wanted to have a beautiful sacred space for us all that I felt good about using. So it's just phenomenal. Everything, I found everything in one place. It's like, it still blows my mind now just thinking about it. So those of you that have created your account, welcome, thank you. And if you have not yet, then please go on there, click the link in the description of this video, and create your account and join us in the Channel for Grace global community. Let me say hi to the new people that came in. Will it be recorded if we can't be there live? Oh my God. Okay. So this is the second time that someone's asked me this question. So this tells me that you guys really, 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 really like the replays. So yes, I decided that I will be recording them just as they get recorded here on YouTube. I will be providing replays for all of the events that happen in the community, in the free community. And of course, if you're part of the paid Starseed membership, which I'll talk about this weekend, what that entails and what you can get extra in there. And then that also provide a lot of video content in there and a lot of like recorded live events. So yes, great question. Is it your birthday? Oh, when is your birthday, Mindy? Happy birthday, Tara. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Jai, will you still be sending out the Moon Magic Report through email? So I will. You just came in and I just talked about it earlier that it was supposed to go today. It was supposed to go out today. And I literally was run over by like making sure that like, cause I'm starting to announce the new community and it's like, I got to get rid of all of the old links, like literally spread everywhere throughout my entire business, my website, my email, like program, my Calendly, like scheduling and booking page. So I had to go in there and like meticulously take out all of the old links and put all the new information in. So it took me all day. So I didn't get to the Moon Magic Report. So it's going to go out tomorrow morning. So, but we will be having that free live event, Aquarius New Moon Ceremony in the community. Hello, Dawn. Welcome in. Yes, Mindy, we want to see you in there. I want to see all of you guys in there. Rachel says, yes, I watch replays. A lot of people do. Hello, Valerie. Welcome in. Okay, so we're going to get started with readings. I do see that a few more people got on, which is freaking amazing. But first, the very first person on the list is Kimberly. So Kimberly, go ahead and put up your question, and I'm going to check my PayPal and add the names of the people that signed up in order, and then I'll share with you what who those are. I'll share their names so you know the order. Yeah, we'll see you in the new community. Okay, so we've got Kimberly is first. Jeanette is second. Rachel is third. Myrna is after Rachel, and then Valerie is after Myrna. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on the list so far. Okay, coming back into the chat. Hello, Tim. Welcome in. Good to see you here. So let's see what Kimberly wants. Plus the puppies jumping on your head. Was that not hilarious? I posted a video on the Instagram. Horus and Mintica are the names of my puppies. And today they finally like kind of learn how to jump on the big couch that I sit on. And like a lot of the time. And they just come and like hang out there with me now. And I freaking love it because it's like I don't have to watch them. I'm like doing computer work, but they just want to be like laying on me. So I'm like, this is great. I can do this all day, you know? I'm always on the computer. So today, though, they climbed on there and I was resting my back, laying on my belly. And then they got up and they started climbing all over me. And so I was like, I got to record this. So I turned on the camera and it was like, what happened was fucking hilarious. Like I had no idea that was going to happen. So that's why it was so funny. Okay, here we go. Kimberly, I am needing some answers or clarification on what is or has been going on for me since mid-October or even slightly before. My laughter just made it. I was like screaming. At one point, Mintica licked inside my ear. And was like, ah, like it was hilarious. You guys got to go check it out. Follow at Horus and Mintica on Instagram. Those are me and my puppies. That's their account. Okay. Right. Yes. I remember a little bit of the background. Okay. So, let us go ahead and begin. I'm going to just take a little moment. We're going to do tarot for this because I feel like that's really important. Or unless you want something else. So you just let me know if you would prefer something else, but I'm still going to clear the cards and call in my spirit guides. Right, Raven? I had an amazing session with Raven today. She's another one of the Moon Goddess graduates. She graduated from level 3. Basically, the program has completed, and there's just like they have to take the final exam and all that stuff and do a practicum. But today, Raven did an amazing reading. I knew it would be amazing. I had no doubt about it. But it was just like out of this world. And what we got, like what we like co-created together was really powerful and deep. And the question that I had was about my spirit guides. So it was amazing. So yes, congratulations, Raven, on officially finishing and completing the program. Satnam to you, beautiful sister. I can't wait to see how everything unfolds for you. Yes. I love it. Okay. Well, let me think about it for a second, Kimberly. Yes. She's such a beautiful goddess. What? Do you want to do that? Because I can tell you, in a transit reading, I can tell you, this is going to be much more intuitive, but in a transit reading, they're all intuitive, right? You'll be able to see with more detail, like where the big stuff was happening in your chart. So why don't we do that? I actually don't mind doing that. I think that might be a good idea. So let's share the screen and pull up your charts and take a look at the transits. Okay. All right. Hey, where's your information? Okay, 1170. Okay. And 1230. I'll share it on the screen in a second. And then we've got, I know they did Maria. I wasn't surprised. I'm not surprised at anything. You guys have grown so much, but yes, we actually are having these goddesses sign up like right away. I love it. I freaking love it. Okay, so that's Washington. Okay, I think I got it. Oh, West Seattle. Does it matter if I just put Seattle versus West Seattle? Let me see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. We talked about it with Maria. She's like, the old me would have waited till the last minute to do it, but the new me wasn't afraid. And I was like, wow, Maria, like, so cool. And I was like, yes. Okay, let's do a little screen share. You're not the only ones. There's a few that chose the last 2 days. I have all these sessions. And you know what? So funny. I'm going to have I don't know how many, 6 sessions in 3 days worth. It's hilarious to me. Okay, so here we go. All right, I'm excited. Are you excited, Kimberly? Well, you have been going through a lot, so let's not, sorry. Okay, I just hope you get some of that epic, energy that's coming through. I'm really excited about life right now, so I hope that kind of bleeds off towards you right now. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to now add the transits. And what I really want to know is, well, we can talk about Sun Pluto, right? Oh, nice. I don't think Kimberly is there. I don't think she's there anymore in Seattle, but that's cool that you are close to Seattle, Rachel. That's awesome. Actually, that Dawn. Oh my God. Okay. So Let's just take a look at what is happening here. Let me take a picture of this. Okay. So there's a couple of things that I want to look at. The first one is I want to see where the nodes are. Like that, I'm being called to see where the nodes are. So you've got like a lot of Taurus energy. Okay, so you're a Taurus rising. So you've got Taurus energy like all up in your first house, a little bit in your 12th, but mostly in the first house. And then Scorpio, you've got it in the 7th house, which that speaks volumes right now. You also have Jupiter in Scorpio as well, and the South Node is getting closer and closer to hitting your Jupiter. Let's see what else. Obviously the Mars transit is important. You've got that in your 2nd house, 1st and 2nd house, mostly in the 2nd house. Pluto transiting your 10th house, and then obviously the Sun right now is actually conjuncting Pluto, so we can talk about that. Okay, so the biggest thing that really happened was that you said October. Let me see. Okay, I need some answers or clarification on what is or has been going on for me since mid-October, or even so. Yeah, because in October, that was the month. That was eclipse season. Okay, that's why I was drawn to the nodes. October into November was eclipse season. October into November was also Mars retrograde. So those are going to be the things that initiated something in your life. Very big themes that you're going to see what those are when you see the chart, right? So there was a solar eclipse in Scorpio first. That was in October, and that was with a South Node. And South Node eclipses are they're difficult. Like South Node eclipses have to, I was going to say they're dark, but that's kind of what it is. They have to do with, especially, well, let's talk about Scorpio second, but South Node is karma and past lives and dealing with that and healing from the past. And all of us are doing this sort of scorpionic type of healing right now, letting go of the old, letting go of the past experiences, the trauma, the drama, and stepping into more stability. And so the situation, I think that showed up for you might have been initiated by these eclipses and the Mars retrograde. And the fact that this is an energy that is happening that it happened in your 7th house, but the South Node is still in your 7th house, has to do with healing old karmic wounds within your relationships. And you may think, well, this didn't really have anything to do with a relationship. But the truth is that soul contracts with people can literally last just a few minutes, even just a few seconds. You could make a soul contract with someone where, this is going to happen and we're just going to meet at some point and we're going to be in each other's lives just a very short little bit. But that's exactly what needs to happen, because there's a lesson that will begin to unfold from our meeting or whatever. Anyways, so that it is related to relationships for you. It is related to healing karma. It is related to Jupiter, literally making it a bigger deal than maybe it needs to be. But that was one of the biggest themes. The other one on the other side of the spectrum is the North Node in Taurus, Uranus conjuncting the North Node in Taurus. All of this in your 1st house of identity. So Uranus transiting through the 1st house is like you are redefining yourself. You are moving through a very powerful redefinition of who you are. How people see you is changing at a very deep and soulful level. And you may be feeling like the rebel. You may be feeling like I want to do things differently. I want to not follow the rules. I want to be unique. I want to be an individual. Like all of those things are like guiding your decisions, right now. And a lot is changing in how you see yourself, how you define yourself, your physical, like actual physical, like, like your looks, what you look like, how you dress, like all that stuff. It's like there's just something about it that's creating this very intense change. And with the North Node there, it says you are going through an experience that may feel very, very unexpected and different and out of nowhere, right? But it is going to help you to learn about stability, about self-esteem, about truly loving yourself, about what it means to truly be grounded, how basically you don't have to have anything to be grounded in life. You don't have to like have possessions or things like that to feel like grounded and secure within yourself. And I think that was one of the biggest themes of this lesson that you recently went through. It's like the understanding of the raw power and beauty of your physical self having this human experience, and how by reaching out and getting to know new people, because I'm sure you like met a lot of new people, and in those situations, I'm not going to share you guys anything like too detailed, but in situations where we meet new people, we get surprised, right? Especially some places where you end up meeting new people, you kind of have these like this like preconceived notion of what you're going to encounter, and maybe there is some of that, but maybe there was like some magic there, and you were there to like experience that, and you have to just trust that like that's what it was, and it was meant to be. And if you let yourself surrender to the experience that you had, then you will feel the purpose of it, right? There's a purpose to it. Now, Mars retrograde in your second house, which is also the house of Taurus. So this is like double whammy. Also, the second house is the house of money. Right, a lot of new people that I never would have met before. That was the feeling I was getting. The second house is the house of money. Mars is the planet of drive and motivation and, like, in a way, forward movement, right? The ability to take action in the second house to make money and to have money, right? And to, like, collect it. To have the strength and the motivation and the drive to go get the money so that you can have the quote-unquote material possessions, right? A house, a car, a TV, whatever, all the comforts of life. But somehow, right, there was a very powerful, like, there was a retrograde, and so all that forward momentum where you normally would be having the drive to, like, go make money so you can have all these things in your life, that all of a sudden started going backwards. And so it's almost like the money was being taken away, and all of the experiences were taking you to have less and less and less material possessions that basically, or the experience of, like, the lack of, like, too many material possessions, right? That basically made you really, really reflect, right? But now Mars went direct. Today, Mercury also went direct. Sunday, Uranus is going direct, and all planets will be direct starting Monday. So you know what? It's fucking go time. It's time to take action. Things will start moving forward and moving faster starting on Monday, and we will all feel it. So I'm glad we chose astrology. I think that was a really powerful reading. Thank you, Kimberly. And now let's move on to Jeanette. After Jeanette, we have Rachel, Myrna, and then Valerie. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Okay, let me check PayPal. I don't think anybody else got on the list, but I'm just going to double check. Oh, we're still where we're at. Okay. Awesome. everything in my life usually happens. You're welcome. Very synchronistically with the astrology without me even trying. It's just something that happens to me. It's like just the way I function in life. And it amazes me, like when the events finally come and I see what's actually happening, how like perfect it is. Like this transition to the new community platform is happening right. Like I decided I was going to start the Moon Goddess training level 1 for 2023 on this Saturday, January 21st, on the new moon in Aquarius. Like I just like that energy for the beginning of like a epic, like totally activating, spiritually activating program. But then December was insane. The Mars retrograde like kicked my ass, and I literally had zero drive to do any of the spiritual stuff, like basically, which is basically my life. It's kind of crazy, but that did happen. So I slowed down so much. I didn't take that into account in all my planning and all my crazy shit that I plan. And so when it got to January, I was like, we were already like all the way into the first week of January. And I was like, I'm not ready. I was like, I'm not ready for anything right now. So I was like, okay, stop, breathe. What's the most important thing right now? And the first thing that came to me was the membership. And I said, okay, so the 21st, let's do the transitioning of the membership to the new platform and the activation of the new community. And now that it's all coming together and this is now happening in this weekend, it really blows my mind how it's like the perfect unfoldment of like everything, and how all planets are going to be direct, and how things are going to start. We're going to feel like so different after this weekend. Really, we're going to really feel like we went through a portal, like we finally can shed 2022 off and welcome in 2023. Okay, here we go. So, I just want to do a little like disclaimer there, Jeanette, and for everyone that's going to get like a reading. I understand what you're saying when you want to look at the transits for Aquarius season, but there's a lot of transits in Aquarius season. So I can't, in a mini reading, I can't do that. I can't go through like the whole month and go through all of that, right? It's like not possible. But I'm going to focus on this mini reading where the sun is transiting and where that new moon is happening. This like where the new and the full moon duality is. I can definitely do that. So let me pull up your chart. For 10 a.m. and okay. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to add the transits. And I'm going to go boom. And so here we go. Yeah, totally. I knew that too. I just needed to say it for some reason. Okay, so what are we looking at here? We've got Sun currently transiting your 7th house. So this month has really been about relationships, and there might be some kind of a culmination right now that is ending, like some kind of an intense situation is coming to an end or is coming to a head, and you're really realizing that there's a lot to let go of, there's a lot to release, and you have to release it because the new season is just around the corner. If I fast forward just a couple of days, the sun, so on Friday, the sun enters Aquarius, and basically the next day, which is the new moon, let me go to the exact point. So the new moon is happening at 1 degree of Aquarius, and that's actually, hey Maria, welcome in. That's actually in the 7th house still. So the sun went through your 7th house, and it was like this very intense theme of relationships ending and like just getting serious, having to face like responsible action, having to take responsible action, even though you didn't really, it wasn't like you weren't expecting it, but there was definitely, the theme ends, and it's right now, it ends with like a culmination of very intense realization, a very powerful experience, and that helps you to see yourself, your soul at a deeper level. And that's the Pluto transit. And now as the sun enters into Aquarius and you have that new moon in Aquarius, it shines a light in your 7th house. So like right away, there's going to be, I feel like there's going to be an understanding about what just happened for the last 30 days on Saturday. And you feel the energy shift very, very strongly, because if you notice, the next day after that, you've got the sun at 2 degrees, which means it's already basically has entered into your 8th house. So the sun is making a conjunction to Pluto right now in your 7th house, lighting up this area of relationships. And when it enters the 8th house, it's entering the house of Pluto. So this means that in a way, you are going to be moving through an experience. Maybe what's happening is like the revelation, the actual like letting go and stepping into the new is going to happen in Aquarius season, because the 8th house is the house of death, change, and transformation. So whatever the case, there's a lot of transformation in your future in these next 30 days. There's a lot of shift. There's a lot of like nervous system activation, which is connected to spiritual awakening, right? Like the Shushumna, like the channel, the central channel, which basically links to all of the chakras. So that's really powerful. Also, as the sun enters into Aquarius season, it makes a conjunction to your Chiron, and that's a powerful healing thing. So unfortunately, I don't feel the let up of the healing theme, right? Like the Chiron, you're going to be finding a bit more of your uniqueness within this month of Aquarius, because that's what Aquarius is all about. But it will come with a really deep and powerful journey that will tap into that core wound that lives inside you, that strong insecurity that lives inside you that says, I'm a weirdo, no one loves me, I'm an outcast, I don't, I have nothing to give to this world, all that stuff. That's going to be a big theme that you are experiencing. And then on the other end of the spectrum, let's see. Well, you've got Mars in your 12th house, which is the transit that I had as well. So Mars was basically in your retrograde, all in your 12th house. So, and on your south node. So that's a big deal. Like you were healing karmic wounds, karmic connections with like past lives, that it's like spirituality that's linked to past lives, spiritual experiences, divine experiences, like relationship, all that stuff that's linked to past lives, and your spirituality changing, and your drive and motivation to like be in the spirit of life has waned for a minute, but it'll come back. It's going to come back because like I said, Mars just went direct. Now the Leo energy in your chart is in your 2nd house, and that's where that full moon is going to be in Aquarius. I mean, in the Aquarius season, but the full moon is going to be in Leo. So that's about finding your self-esteem. So when the full moon in Leo comes, take time to, it's like take action to the things that you truly love. Take action to have, allow your drive to really activate for you the ability to like find yourself, but find your strong sense of self-esteem and your confidence. So those are big themes, but that's a bit of what will be happening for you during this season. So hopefully that was helpful for you, Jeanette. Thank you. All right, we are going to go to Rachel. So go ahead and put up your question, Rachel. And I want to take my shoes off. I did a workout earlier and I've been walking around barefoot a lot, and it's really messing with my arches and my feet. It's like not good. So today my shoes have like arch support, so I just kept them on for a while, and it felt like such a release. I'm like, okay, I can't be walking around. I was wearing these like slippers, and it basically was like I was barefoot. So apparently that doesn't work for me. Sorry. All right. Ooh, I love it. Human design reading. I always get lit up when people choose human design. All right. Here we go. Let's share the screen again. Should be sharing. Okay. Okay. So, have we done this for you before? How familiar are you with your human design chart? Okay, we've got, the day was the 4th, the month was 5, and the year was 84. The time, 2:30 is 12, 13, 14, 30. The country was United States. And it was in... There we are. Okay. Okay. So we have done one, but it's still new to you. Okay. So we could start from the beginning. It's actually good. Every time you hear it, I think you learn something new from it, for sure. So, let me just make sure that everything is correct. I think it is. All right, here we go. So you are a manifesting generator, and you have the 2-4 profile, and this is like what your actual chart looks like, which is actually really interesting because it's got all of the inner centers defined, and then all of like the centers on the, well, in terms of the visual, on the outer like are not defined. So to me, right away when I look at your chart, I feel this like strong inner frequency that lives inside of you that maybe doesn't come out that much. You're welcome, Jeanette. Okay, good. Would love guidance on my purpose and love life if that's there. So human design isn't really for that. So human design is a very, very sort of masculine, practical system that teaches you about how to best function in the world so that you have the most success based off of your design. So the themes that are covered in human design is, what is your strategy for life? The other things that are covered is, what is your authority? So strategy is like the word describes. It's the strategy that you need to function and have success in life according to your design. The authority is the way that you are supposed to make decisions, right? So I just wanted to say that because I don't want to disappoint you. We're not, this is not about like, oh, am I gonna have a good love life, or like, what's my purpose? I would go to find your life purpose. I would actually go to the gene keys and explore that if you haven't done that yet. But human design will give you strategy. Authority is the most important thing, and then knowing your aura type and how your energy is experienced by others and yourself. That is like huge insight, and that is what helps you in love relationships. It is what helps you to magnetize yourself, magnetize the things in your life that are closer to your design, which basically kind of is your purpose, right? That's another way of saying purpose. So you could definitely say this also talks about purpose, not just the gene keys, but for sure, a little bit of that here. Just by knowing your design, you know part of what your purpose is here in the world, right? So that's where I would fit that question in, is like, as you know yourself better, your relationships will improve because you'll have better boundaries, etc., etc. So what does it mean to be a manifesting generator? It means that your aura is enveloping. And so you will walk around the world, enter into rooms, and not realize that your energy literally, your aura literally, hello, Mama O. Oh my God, Mama O. You have to join our new community. Dude, I love you. We miss you. I miss you. And yes, just thought about that because like, dude, you're here. Okay, sorry. Anyways, so, okay, awesome, Rachel. Yeah, definitely. She says that makes sense. That's cool. Helps with the last. Yeah, exactly. So, your aura literally takes over the whole room. Any other manifesting generators in the house? Your aura envelops everything around it. And the reason it does that is because your aura is always reaching out like tentacles. That's how I say it, to see what's out there, like to see what's in the environment. And when it senses that something is right for you, it'll sort of like magnetize it to you. And then your job, your strategy is to respond. Your strategy is to respond to life. And that's what makes it so difficult being a manifesting generator, is that you want to initiate things. You want to like start things, right? You have great ideas, like you have great ideas on how to skip all the steps and get somewhere faster. But the problem is that usually those things don't turn out well, because what happens is that you end up sabotaging and you miss the important steps that needed to be there in order for the thing to succeed. And so you end up having to go back and start things over and over and over again. The other thing too, being a manifesting generator, is like, you're not really meant to just do like one thing forever. You are meant to be inspired by many things, Just a generator person is much more steady and goes like step 1, step 2, step 3, to where a manifesting generator would think that that's so boring, right? But the generator feels comfortable and safe within that space. And the manifesting generator, I think they have this inner conflict where they might feel a little bit like, that's not right. That's not me. I'm not like that. Like, there can be a lot of resistance, right? A lot of resistance to hearing somebody say you're not supposed to initiate. You're like, what the fuck? Because you have that aspect of you that really wants to. However, if you are able to understand that your strategy, first and foremost, is to respond to life, then you will completely change your life, because you'll stop trying to force things to happen, trying to like make things happen. And what you're actually going to do is slow down a little bit, which is good for you, and reflect, and maybe, just maybe, wait for the answer to come to you. And your aura will find the things that are for you, and your sacral will tell you, yes, go this direction, or absolutely not. Fuck no. Fuck yes or fuck no. Those are the only two options in life for you. There's no maybe. There's no I don't know, maybe, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. It's either a fuck yes or it's a no. A maybe is a no. And the answers come through your body. You will feel this in a very visceral way. The yes or the no will be in your body, and you have to start to learn what that looks like, because it's a little different for everybody, right? Maybe some people feel it in their gut. Maybe some people feel like a whole body, like like yes, and it's almost like an orgasm kind of a thing, and that's a total fuck yes, right? So you can't doubt that. That's your most powerful intuitive tool. Your authority. It's your authority. It's not just an intuitive tool. It is your authority. And that's what you have to follow, which makes it difficult, because as a manifesting generator, you really want to initiate and do things and start things and like go, go, go. But sometimes you're doing things that aren't really for you just because you thought it was a great idea at the time. You were kind of inspired by it, but it wasn't the right way to do it, or, you know, that kind of a thing. And so also, the other thing to remember about the manifesting generator is that it will have ideas, and that's fine to have ideas, but then really truly give yourself time to hear to respond to your own idea. You know, instead of just running with your mind and being like, it's great, it's logically makes sense that this is great and I should do it. And you might be excited about it, but it's not really the right thing for you. You have to then be like, okay, my mind thinks it's a great idea, but does my body know it's a great idea, right? That's the difference. That's true. I do feel intense. Yes or no? Okay, awesome. Okay, when you get the chills and you get inspired all the time. Yeah. So that's a huge part of being a manifesting generator and having that sacral authority. You're also a 2-4, and I'm a 2-4 as well. And being a 2-4 makes it easy for you to also be able to flow through life a little more easy than most people. And that's because you have this, like, you're naturally gifted. You're like naturally talented. And you're so natural at some things that people are like, how do you do it? And you're like, I don't know. Don't you do it too? Like, what are you talking about? That's not a gift. You're tripping, you know? Like, you're tripping. So for you, life feels like a dance. You're the dancer, right? You're the dancer in the Gene Keys. And the dancer dances through life in this like beautiful, flowy way. So that's the power of that, of being the 2-4 as well. I also see that you have the 43-23, the 33-13, 25-51, and the 2-14. So you have two channels that are individual circuitry, and one of them that is the sensing circuit. And what's the 25-51? Anyways, okay. Having like strong individual circuitry in your chart means that you are also here to be your unique self, and there's no one else like you. And you're here to do things yourself on your own. You're not here to be influenced. That's one of the energies in your chart. You're not here to be influenced. You are here to do you. And this also means that having individual circuitry can also mean that you go through experiences in life where you go through these like bouts of depression or anxiety, but mostly like melancholy. That's the best word to use. Melancholy, you know, with life. And then from that melancholy, you know, it's almost like you have these tower moments and you die through those tower moments. But then when you come back, it's almost like when you get to that low point, you know that something freaking epic is right on the other side of that, because it's a mutation, and the individual circuitry is here to like mutate. And that's why they're so different from everybody else. They're like, they do not follow the crowd at all whatsoever. Like, there is nothing about them that is here to follow anyone but themselves. And so that might explain why you might have a difficult time, like, you know, being in groups. Like, I feel like such a weirdo. My only defined channel is the 23-43 in my entire chart. I'm a mental projector. I only have 2 defined centers. And I feel like a freaking weirdo all the time. And I feel like my individual circuitry is so strong. I refuse, like sometimes I refuse to listen to anybody else. Like, you don't know me. You know, like inside I'm like, you literally, no, you know, and it's very strong. And I think for you it will be as well, because you have 2 defined channels in individual circuitry. Yeah. And then you have one in, I believe, hang on, is that the knowing circuit, or I think it is, but I'm gonna just double check. I think it is the sensing, 1333, if I remember correctly. Yep, I was right. So the sensing circuit, here's another little aspect to yourself. You cannot really have clarity in the moment. You want it, but you can't have it. Sorry. You will only have clarity in life after you've gone through experiences, and you can look back and reflect on it and be like, oh, okay, that's what that was about. So that's another thing, is that like you want clarity in the moment, but you are not here to have it. It's not part of your thing. That 1333, the channel of the prodigal, a design of a witness, the sensing circuit. This is the quick reference theme. Every cycle of experience in your life will make sense in the end. This is what you are here to learn over and over again. The deeper you experience this insight, the more patient and relaxed you will become with the way things are going in the now. These people are here to pass on the wisdom of individual experience to others. Their emphasis in life is to learn from hindsight and pass on what they have learned, so that others do not have to make the same mistakes. For these people, the past is always important. Whether they are historians, comedians, or politicians, these people are natural record keepers. This can be seen in any number of things, from keeping photo albums from keeping photo albums to accounts or diaries. People with this channel often hear and know more than they let on. They can have a profound memory for certain information. In an organization, these are the people to ask if you need to know what is going on beneath the surface. Because of these gifts, they are often sought out as leaders. So, right? Powerful insight. So I'm going to leave it there, because I feel like that was quite a bit and quite a bit to process. And human design is a rabbit hole that you can dive into and go on and on and on. But I actually recommend you go into the gene keys, which is a little bit more friendly in the beginning and not so complicated to a beginner's mind, and understand your life's work sphere, your evolution sphere, your radiance sphere, and your purpose sphere. Basically the activation sequence. And you're welcome. Okay, so if you want to get on the list for mini readings tonight, there is a link in the description. You have to send $25 to my PayPal, and then I add your name to the list that I have going right here. And then when it's your turn, I will let you know. And then you can post your question in the chat. So let's go to Rachel, or actually to Myrna, who is next. Myrna is next. After Myrna, we have Valerie, and then there's not another person after Valerie. So if no one signs up between now and Valerie's reading, then we'll end with Valerie's reading. So there we have it. Myrna, what do you need? Oh, you did, Tim? I didn't see that. Let me go check. I see. Somebody did send money. Yep, it's you, Tim. Okay, so Tim is after Valerie. And then there's no one else after Tim. So if you want to get on the list, Michael, feel free to do so. Okay. And good night, Joan. Okay, I learned a little bit about my human design last week. Maybe I can learn about my gene keys. Okay, sounds great. I love it. Gene keys, human design. It's all pretty amazing. So I'm going to need your info. And we will dive in. There it is. Okay. All right, so the birth city. Okay. The day, the 8th. The month, April. And the year. Okay, and oh yeah, that's right. You were born at 3:33, so 12. Okay, 15:33. Wow, that's so cool. All right, let's go. And again, I will say this about the gene keys, which I always say it every time I do a gene keys reading. The most important thing about the gene keys is to understand that it is about contemplating it yourself. No one can give you the answers to your own gene keys, because you have you have those keys within yourself, and you will unlock their potential and their power and their gifts by exploring the information yourself. So the best recommendation is to go buy the book, The Gene Keys by Richard Rudd. It's a big fat book. It's got 64 plus chapters, and there's one chapter for each of the gene keys. There's 64 gene keys total. It's connected to the I Ching, which is the ancient oracle that they used to use in China. It's also connected to a little bit human design and, of course, astrology. And the biggest thing about understanding your gene keys is to know how to transmute your shadows into gifts. And as you transmute your shadows into gifts, you step into your divine purpose, into your destiny, into the highest expression of your soul. So let's start with your life's work sphere. Your life's work is about what you're here to do in the world. It is what you are here to actually take action through. But the way to awaken your life's work is to transmute the shadow of your life's work into the gift of your life's work. The shadow of your life's work is agitation. So you experience a lot of agitation in life. You get agitated at this, agitated at that. This may be something that maybe currently, and well, I'll say one more thing. We can get defensive about the shadows. Like we can get super defensive about the shadows. So if you feel yourself getting defensive, just take a breath. You don't need to defend anything, right? The truth is right here in your design. You just need to learn to surrender. Awesome, Michael. To surrender and be with this truth that shines through. Because you would not have light if it wasn't for the shadows. And these specific shadows in your chart are the key to stepping into your light. That's how important they are. That's why you cannot ignore them and you can't get defensive about them. I'm not saying you personally are getting defensive. In general, right? We can get, but learn to laugh. Yeah, learn to laugh at yourself. That's the best medicine, right? So agitation, getting agitated at this, agitated at life, agitated with people, agitated in general is one of your biggest shadows. It's one of the biggest things that you deal with in this lifetime. You chose to deal with the shadow very strongly. But the thing is that agitation, in a way, that frequency of agitation is what actually, because the gift of this 51st gene key is initiative, which is about, right, like having the initiative to like start something, make something happen, right? That's the normal way that we would define that, or the way that I personally would define it. These are my intuitive like readings of this, but still go look it up yourself. because we think the initiative is very much something about stepping into action, I would make this assumption or just make the connection that when you're agitated, you can't function properly. You know, you can't function properly with any of these shadows, but it's the shadow of agitation that has been one of the biggest ones for you. When you release, when you transmute that shadow of agitation, you will step into the gift of initiative, which eventually will lead you to have these beautiful moments of bliss where you awaken from the nightmare or whatever. When you awaken from your slumber and you see like the beauty and the truth of the world. And it's a big, big theme for you because it's your life's work. Now, the way that you're going to evolve the most is through your evolution sphere. And then you have to look at this shadow, which is linked to the previous shadow. So you have agitation and unease. These two shadows work together to like mess with each other, you know? When you're agitated, you're uneasy. When you're uneasy, you're agitated. When you're agitated, you're uneasy. When you're uneasy, you're agitated. Like you can't heal from that space, right? So feeling uneasy about everything, uneasy about life in general, is something that you really have to work to relax, right? You want to relax. And when you become like ease, right? The opposite of unease is ease, flow. It's easy, right? Things are moving, right? There's no nervous energy. And when that happens, you transmute that shadow. Okay, so I should be back. Something happened with the Wi-Fi, just like shut off, and again, I apologize because there's nothing I can do about it. You know, it's what happens when you live out in the middle of nowhere. So yes, I am back and going to continue now. All right. So just making sure that I can actually see it. Oops. Okay. All right. So, whoa. So where was I? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, so basically what I was saying is that unease will fade away and you will step into your intuition and you'll find clarity in your life. And that when you find clarity in your life, that is when you evolve the most and your inner light starts to shine through, which is all about, it's called the radiance. And in your chart, hang on one second. Hang on, I gotta make sure everything is on the same Wi-Fi, but it just automatically switched over because something happened with, see, I have two Wi-Fis, so when one dies, everything just jumps on over to the other one. And you're like, excuse me, I need you over here. So I have to reshare the screen. And okay, 1296. Okay. All right. So here we go. So here's what I was going to talk about is the radiance sphere, which tells you about how your inner light shines through. So the shadow of your radiance is greed. That's a really interesting shadow. Obviously a very challenging one. In general, that energy can feel like very intense. But when you obviously start to understand, where does your greed come from? Why is it there? Is it because there's a lack of, right? So there is, because it's one of your shadows. This is what I'm saying. Like this is so interesting. This is where we get defensive when we like say that. I'm not like that at all. You are. You just don't know exactly where. You haven't seen this in yourself. And it's not a judgment. That's the other thing about the gene keys. And this is why I recommend that you 100% go get the book and read each of these chapters of the green spheres, which is the activation sequence, because they will show you in a much more like beautiful, poetic way what greed actually means. Right? So it's present, okay? It's a shadow, it's there, and it keeps you from stepping fully into your light. How that manifests in your life, I don't know exactly, right? Only you know that. But understanding that there is a bigger definition than the normal definition we give to each of these words is going to help you to not like step into that judgment mind, right? Or the defensive mind. So the greed is the shadow that keeps you from shining bright in your life. And when you transmute that shadow of greed into the gift of aspiration, and then further into the city of ascension, you basically like elevate yourself, literally, like obviously that energy of greed holds you at a very low frequency. It keeps you from seeing all that you have, and it keeps you at a dense energy. And so to get to the lighter frequencies, to lift yourself up, you have to let go of the weight, right? Because greed is like, I don't have, so I have to hold on to things, right? That's part of what that means. It's like, you know, keeping things and holding on to them for a long time because you're like, I don't want to let this go. Like I need this, right? It's like this feeling, this fear of not having in any way, shape or form. And so, obviously energetically that's a low frequency. So to get away from that, you have to like let go and release and free yourself, right? It's like the story of Andromeda. You have to break the chains and free yourself from the things that hold you down. And a lot of it, those are like belief systems that are super ingrained in the back of our head, you know, and we live by them. They are our rules, but we don't realize them. We like to think that, right? This is not me. I'm not like that. But this is about going deeper, right? This whole experience of life and spirituality is about going there and being like, okay, if this is the shadow that keeps me from stepping into my light, where in my life do I feel that frequency? You know, it can be very subtle or it can be very obvious and in your face. And that's the gift of this contemplation. You take your time and you actually process the information before making a decision about it. That's the whole point of it. And what happens at the very end is that you step into your purpose as you uncover all of these beautiful gifts for yourself. What really starts to shine through, like the pearl within the center, is your purpose. And the shadow of your purpose is immaturity. The gift of your purpose is expansion. And the city is superabundance. And so when you transmute this shadow of immaturity into the gift of expansion, right? As you transmute immaturity, what happens is you expand, you grow, you mature, like all those things, right? That's like the opposite of immaturity is growth and maturity. And so that's your purpose. Your purpose is to expand. The only way you're going to expand is if you acknowledge all of those areas in your life where you act in a quote unquote immature way. Again, there's more to it than meets the eye. It's a word, but we have so many like connotations to it, you know, that we make up our minds, you know, like yes or no. And I want you to really, really take the time. Promise me you're going to go get the book and read these chapters. And then you're going to come back and I'm going to ask you if you did it. And I'm going to ask you now, what do you think? Okay. So, but this is the introduction, right? This is the dipping your toes into it. It's a huge, vast world of learning and shifting and integrating the gene keys. So it's about surrender. It's about being okay with what is, with the truth that is revealed through these gene keys. It's about knowing that there's nothing wrong with you, right? Like, you can't have light without shadow. So all of these shadows are so important for you to understand yourself better and to go beyond what you think you could have ever imagined about yourself. So thank you. Thank you for choosing the gene keys. I love that. So we are going to go to Valerie next. Just joined. Let me see. It says just joined. I was looking at frequencies and this came up. Welcome in, Louise. Thank you for popping in here. Sounds amazing. Let me see if I can reset this thing so I can actually see the chat on my computer. And Valerie has, okay, good. There it is. But let me add Michael because I know Michael got on the list. So Michael's going to be our last one, you guys. I just want to say that because at some point I have to cut it off. I got puppies waiting to go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, okay, Valerie's question. It's been a difficult emotional roller coaster lately. Tarot reading with some guidance, please. The possibility of needing to move closer to extended family has come up again. Okay. Now, I want to clear the cards. Thank you, spirit guides, angels, and teachers for being here with us in this moment. I would like to call in my spirit guides, angels, and teachers from past, present, and future to come and hold space for us here. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for the messages. Help to clear the energy of these cards as well as my energy so I can be that open channel of wisdom, of grace, of intuition to flow through everyone that is getting a reading tonight, especially with the tarot and oracle cards. And we would like to ask for a message for Valerie to give her insight into her current situation regarding her emotional roller coaster, difficult emotional roller coaster that has been her experience as of life as of lately, and the possibility of needing to move closer to extended family. Any insight that she can receive? Thank you. 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 All right. Welcome in, Callista. Thank you for being here. Welcome to our community. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe. If you're enjoying what you see, I do these mini readings once a week. Usually I was doing them on Fridays and I started doing them Wednesdays, and I like doing them Wednesdays, so might stick to Wednesdays, but I can't ever guarantee that. It's kind of weird. Like for the YouTube live, schedules can be a little crazy. So we do have an event this weekend I would like to invite everyone to. You're all welcome to attend. It is our new moon in Aquarius ceremony, and it will be happening in it's a private event on Zoom. It's an online event, and it will be happening within our new global community. If you have not joined our global community yet, please do. There's a link in the description of this video that takes you to the community. You create your own account, and then you're in, and that's it. And when I have events, I will tell you that all of the new moon and full moon ceremonies are now moving to the new network. And so to watch the new moon and full moon ceremonies, you got to be a part of the network. And there's so much. I talked in the beginning about it, but there's so much. It's like a really powerful, enhanced community experience. And our first event this weekend includes the ceremony for the new moon the celebration for the new year, the Chinese New Year of the Rabbit, as well as a giveaway. So everyone that signs up, and it's free to sign up, will get entered to win a free reading from me, like a longer reading. And haven't decided which type. I do many different types of readings, but they will win a free reading. So you'll get entered to win if you go and join our new community, and you're going to love it. You are going to love it. What is the animal? What is the animal? What is the animal for Valerie? What is the animal for Valerie? Okay. Okay, so here we go. Maria says, I'm already a Mighty Network member. Oh, what is the name of your channel? What do you think, Maria? Sorry. Channel for Grace, of course. Yes, hop on over there, Maria. We want to see you in there. Yeah, totally easy to sign up. Thank you, Dawn. It is super easy to do that. Callista says, been looking for guidance, newer to all of this. In my watch and learn phase. Oh, well, welcome. You know, this is really, I have to say that there's something really magical about this channel and this community, because one of the things that I love is like, we have zero tolerance for BS. I just want to say that we protect each other. Like, we have empathy, you know, and this community is like so supportive and so connected and so like open to learning from each other. This is really a beautiful space that you landed on. And since you did land in this space, it was, just know that it was meant to be. So welcome. Let's welcome Callista into this new community, and please stay and hang out. And all of you that are new, please stay and hang out and join us, because we're building a beautiful network together for that reason. So here we go. Where do we sign up for the new moon ceremony? Okay, there's a link in the description that takes you to Mighty Networks. You create your account, and you're basically a part of Mighty Networks, and which is hosting my network called Channel for Grace. Mighty Networks also has an app, and mobile app that you have to download onto your phone, because the funnest thing about this is that it has a mobile app. So everything happens through the app, the push notifications, the RSVPing to events, all of that, right? So you can download the app. Mighty Networks it's called, and it has like a green, light green background with like a pastel colored like M, I believe. And once you create, you know, I would download that first and then click the link in the video, and then create your account, and you'll be in the community. And once you're in there, you'll see the event. There's a tab that says events, and you can RSVP to it. So there you go. Thank you for asking, Louise. And right, Valerie. The first card that you get is the Fool, but it's reversed. So the Fool in this deck is basically the Little Mermaid. You did get it reversed. So let's read a little bit about this. So the Little Mermaid, the Danish fairy tale. The Fool rests on the pinnacle of a decision. She is ready to dive out of her subconscious and into the physical world, right? Out of the water and onto the earth. To transform from an animal into a human. Wow. She is carefree and excited by a new life, regardless of warnings. When this comes out reversed, the reverse meaning is apathy, hesitation, a faulty choice, or doldrums. I don't know what that is. Recklessness. So it's basically the shadow of Aries, right? It's like making the wrong decision, not thinking about it, taking your time, hesitating, right? Like being like, I don't know, I don't care. Like that's apathy, right? So you have to be careful. This is the stepping stone for your reading. So you're standing at this place where you feel these energies, and of course they like affect you know, in general. So I feel a heaviness, you know, there's definitely a heaviness with that card coming out like that. And I feel the hesitation. I feel it's not a resistance. It's almost like, but this has been like this for so long that I'm just like, like that's kind of what it feels like to me. The challenge is the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups in traditional tarot brings you a cup full, right? It's the gift, brings you the gift full of life. In this one, there's a beautiful eagle, which I love because the eagle always reminds us to see things from a higher perspective. This is Halibu. Oh, the doldrums, I think it's like boringness. Okay, got it. Okay, that makes sense. The Halibu the hunter, it's a Mongolian legend. The Knight of Cups is a messenger. Halibu is kind and gentle, while also willing to take a stand for what he believes in. Halibu provides for this village, and after befriending a dragon, he willingly sacrifices himself to save everyone he loves. Holy shit, how is that your challenge? So this is about chivalry, affection, invitations, and dude, Valerie, you're a projector. Taking action, meaningful gifts, chivalry. Wow. So the challenge, so chivalry is like, you're so courageous that you go fight in the battle because it's what you believe in, right? And that's why that's a challenge, because of the apathy and like the boring, like the being tired of it, like whatever, I don't care anymore. Like it's just, you know what I mean? Like it's a challenge because you have to step into purpose again, and you have to really like want it and be courageous. And maybe you feel tired, maybe you're just tired and you're like over it already. That's kind of what I'm feeling. The overall theme is the death card reverse. So you use 3 reversals in this reading. This is White Bear King Valmon, a Norwegian fairy tale. Death is a huge upheaval, potentially representing the death of one way of life and the start of a new one. Life changes irrevocably, and there is no way to go back. Change is necessary. The death of childhood is important in order to grow up. However, reversed, this is stagnation, immobility, stubbornness, festering, and decay. Damn, dude. Like, okay, but here's the thing. That was really like I don't know, maybe they could have used some different words, but Jesus. But it matches the energy of the Fool card reversed, right? Because the Fool wants to move forward, right? Death is a transition into a new world. It's movement forward, believe it or not. We think it's an ending. It's not. It's only a beginning, right? So there's definitely those energies are definitely holding you back. What is the stagnation? Where is the stagnation coming from, right? Where's that immobility? What is that about? I would dive deep into yourself and ask yourself, what is that about? Like, what does that mean? You did get, okay, so this is the wisdom from the ancestors, and you get the 10 of Swords. It's the caregiving. Yeah, I completely understand. The 10 of Swords, but this one was also reversed. This is good though. This reversal is good. So this is Sedna. This card has been coming out a lot this week. The 10 of Swords represents backstabbing and betrayal. Sedna's father pushes her from his kayak and chops off her fingers when she tries to cling to his boat. Great. She sinks to the bottom of the ocean and becomes consumed with wrath, eternally seeking revenge. Damn. I almost feel like it's the warning of like, don't let it get to that point, please. I'm kidding. Reversed, however, this is why this is good reversed. Reverse is about surviving disaster, recovery, regeneration, and the inevitable. So that's the question for you. What is the inevitable for you? What is the answer to the inevitable? And how your spirit guides are saying you're actually at a point where it almost feels like you're surviving a disaster, you know, but you're recovering and you're regenerating. And that's what you have to remember. And that's the message from your spirit guides. So listen to that. Hello, Native Mo. Welcome in. The crocodile is your animal. The crocodile is about resting, submerging, collecting energy, and cooling off. Wow. The crocodile reminds us to step back from the external world and turn inward. Now is not the time for decisions. Dude. Now is not the time for decisions, action, or discussion. Whoa. The crocodile's mantra is wait. This doesn't mean lying around hoping life's challenges will disappear. The crocodile is much smarter than that. It means intentionally withdrawing, gathering your awareness, observing and building energy. Fill up the vital reserves so your next move comes from a place of wisdom and power. Dang, Valerie. Wow, I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much love. We've missed you. Thank you for getting a reading tonight, and hopefully that brought you some insight. I know I felt it. I felt it. That was powerful. All right. Next, we have Tim, and then Michael. That's where we're at. And Michael was the last one, so no more readings for tonight. There you go. So we will wait for your question, Tim. You're welcome, Valerie. Good luck. Yeah, right, Maria. Okay. Yeah, it was a great. I loved that too. I loved that last message was it completed it, you know. Definitely gave it this feeling of completion for sure. All right. Okay. Hey, babe. I was hoping you would come in here. Okay. Guidance and understanding. I love it. How familiar are you with your human design? Is my first question. 64. Okay. Time 11:41. Okay. Okay, and then we've got Hey, Rebecca. Welcome in. Where is it? Oh, Jacksonville. Okay. So, let me just make sure it's all correct. Awesome. I love it. Okay, I think I got it. This is taking me a long time. What the hell? That's incorrect. Okay. That was going to come out way off. It's a 2064. Okay, so we got 1964. 11:41 a.m. is correct. April 19th. Okay, create chart. Let's take a look. All right, so you are an emotional generator. 4-6. Look at all those undefined centers. All right, we're not quite ready for you yet, Michael. We're still on Tim's reading. Okay, but I like your enthusiasm. Okay, so, okay, where are we at? Let's see. I just want to make sure you didn't ask any other questions, Tim. Okay, got it. All right, so let's start with the aura type. So you're a generator, which means your aura is enveloping. It's a stable energy. A generator is actually, without the manifesting aspect of it, a generator is someone who just steadily moves through life forward. And they follow the steps, and so their life looks like, to some people who are like, crazy and fast moving, it can feel like the life of a generator is just so mundane in a way, but the truth is that generators actually have energy because they have a defined sacral center, and that is your it's not your authority, but it's a big part of what defines you as a generator. It means that you have life force energy to actually do the work. You are also known as, you're part of this community, which is 70% of the human population are generators or manifesting generators. And the what's it called? Oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought. This is why I'm like, okay, after a while, it's got to get cut off because I start like losing it. Okay, so I was talking about the generator, the life force energy to actually get things done. You are the builders of the world. You are a builder. And so you have the consistent energy to do things. And so you might be also someone who consistently does things, that most people might get tired and they need a break, but you maybe don't need a break. The important thing about being a generator is that you will move through life. I can't remember the word. What is it called? Your signature. Okay, that's the word. Your signature is satisfaction. So what brings you the most joy in your life is feeling satisfied with yourself and feeling satisfied with life. Like, what would it feel like to feel satisfied? Like, doesn't that just like, oh my God, yeah, that would be amazing. What would it feel like to live life with satisfaction? That's the most important thing that you need to recognize about yourself. When you are frustrated, you're not satisfied. You are not living in your design. You're going against the current in terms of your design. And so when you feel satisfied with life, then you are living in your design. You are like doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing. Your strategy is to respond to life, except what makes it challenging for you is that you're an emotional generator, which means that you have this sort of extra waiting time to figure things out, to make decisions. You can't just, anybody else have emotional authority here in the chat? You don't have clarity in the moment. And people hate that because we live in a society that wants to have clarity in the now. And no, I want you to tell me now. What do you want now? What is it now? And it's like now. And you're just not capable of that. Emotional authority beings are not capable of that. You don't have the clarity. So if you make a decision, you could be like deadly wrong, like it could be the completely wrong choice because you made it in the moment and you don't have that clarity in the moment. You don't know in the moment. You will know once you go through your emotional wave and you look back, right? It's like the sensing circuit, almost like you look back and you're like, oh, I know what I want now. I'm clear about it now. I have clarity after reflection. Your clarity comes after the wave has passed, the high and the low. Usually we only focus emotionally like on the low. Like we think someone who's emotional only has like low emotions. That's not true. Someone who's emotional has high and low frequency emotions. They're an emotional being that experiences the whole spectrum of emotions. And once they come back to the neutral space, like, oh, I went on this roller coaster ride and now I'm done with the ride. And I'm like, wow, that was really amazing. Or actually, my overall thought about that is that it was not good, like that sucked. So we're not going to do that ever again, like whatever. So that's what's important. That's what's important to remember. So yeah, I mean, that pretty much, there's something, let me look at circuitry for a second. It seems like you would be like a super grounded guy too. And the reason I say that is because you have the defined root, the defined spleen, and the defined ego, which means that you actually have the willpower to like do things that you want to do. And if you want to prove something, you can totally go prove it. Like some people don't have anything to prove. They don't have a defined ego center. Like they're not here to like have the willpower to like do, like basically do things, make promises. You can make promises. That's fine. The thing that you have to try not to do is like define your identity. Like that sounds like a wild ass statement. But with an undefined G center, you don't have a set direction about how to define yourself. Like, you're not going to be that person that like lives their life on this track and never gets off of it. Like, my dad was in the army, so I'm going in the army and that's how I'm going to live and die. And like, I mean, that was a stupid example, but you know what I mean? Like, my family has always done this, so I will too. And then you just follow blindly this track that you think is supposed to be you, but no, it's not. Like, you can be the baker, you can be the contractor, you can be like, you could do it all. You could be anybody you want. You could fit in anywhere, with anybody, because you're like, I can be like you guys, but I can also be like those guys. And I can also be this, and I can also be that. You'll never find something that sits and doesn't move in that space. You will always fluctuate, and you need to just surrender to the freaking awesome journey that is, right? Yeah, I love that. Yeah, human design is so amazing. Let's look at the channel. Okay. You have 1, 2, 3. You have single definition, which means there's easy flow in your chart when you're living in your design. Wow, most of those are, hang on. Let me see. I'm going to pick the one that's like drawing me to it. And it's the 5027 for some reason. But give me 1 second. I just need to refer to it. Oh, that's an integration channel. Okay, so you have integration circuitry. The 4037 is, what is the 4037? 40, where did it go? Hang on. Okay, tribal. Okay, tribal circuitry, and that's gotta be more. There's the 55. Did you guys? Oh, that's individual circuitry. Oh, that's right. That's through the middle. Okay, so tribal. Tribal integration circuitry and individual circuitry. So, were you listening when I was talking about individual circuitry and what that means? Because if you were, that's great, and then I don't have to repeat it. But 5539. Let's go to that. So tribal circuitry basically means that you're family oriented. You're like unit oriented. Like, you want to be part of a tight community, and it's important. That's important to you, like the continuation of the community and all of that. That's what tribal circuitry is all about. Individual circuitry is the one that basically makes you an individual, and you have to do things your way and you're not really here to be influenced by others. And the integration circuit is actually a really, it's a powerful one. It's like it's sort of, I'll read into it a little bit, but I wanted to read you this. The 3955, the channel of emoting, the knowing circuit. The secret to your life is to learn to appreciate the lows as much as you love the highs. When you can let go of wanting to control love, only then will you experience the freedom you seek. These people are here to embrace the lesson that life comes with both highs and lows, and to accept the endless cycles of sadness and joy. This is the channel of being happy or sad, of riding the emotional wave and tapping into the tremendous creativity that can come from the emotions, and in particularly the low end of the spectrum. It is important to remember that an emotion has to be provoked from outside, whereas a feeling arises from within. These people need to be able to accept melancholy rather than trying to rationalize it or make an enemy of it. They need to enjoy being alone when they are feeling down as much as they enjoy being with others when they are feeling high. The emotional wave in this channel is prone to the pulsing energy of mutation, which can seem very calm until it suddenly spikes up or spikes down. Because of this, these people can appear very calm for long periods, but may also experience sudden, unexpected mood swings. This can even be measured in terms of years. This is a deeply romantic acoustic channel with a great sensitivity to music. These people need to talk and listen to each other. They love to act out their moods and express their feelings, and because of this, they make natural actors, musicians, poets, and artists of all kinds. That was actually really cool. I really like that. And then the other one that I wanted to read to you before we hop on over to Michael's reading is where did it go? Okay, here it is. So the 50, oh wait, no, that's 20. That's 50, 20, 20, 50, 27. Yeah, right? Oh, that might have been it. Yeah. The channel of preservation. You are someone who is here to either maintain or change the values of people in the community around you. Added to this, you have an aura that generates automatic trust from others, which means that people look to you naturally for support. The only lesson you have to learn is not to take on so much responsibility that you lose sight of yourself. As part of the defense circuit, this channel is about nurturing our offspring and guiding them through correct values in order to maintain a high standard of living within the community. Ultimately, this is about the preservation of our genetic lineage. These people are natural nurturers, providers, and leaders. Their sacral responses will always lead them to feel certain responsibilities for others or not. Because of the power of the defense circuit, these people naturally pull others into their aura in order to establish or undermine certain values. And because of their aura, others naturally trust them. They always have the power to bring attention to the values or lack of values around them. They can even catch the attention and conscience of the most selfish individuals and outsiders, bringing them into the community. These are people who preserve the infrastructure of our communities. Example, police, lawyers, therapists, anything from cooks to crooks. All right, that we're going to stop right there. That there's more, obviously, there's a lot more, but that was a lot. And hopefully that resonated for you. And thank you again for getting a reading this evening, Tim. And last but not least, we are going to do Michael next. I love that. I've been working on gratitude with emotions and experience. Yes. My husband has a similar background, like changed so many schools and moved and changed schools over and over and over and over again. All right, Michael, let's see. You wanted a human design reading. So let's go back over here and we're going to pull up your information. So the day is the 26th. The month is the 11th and the year is okay. November 26th. Okay. 10:33. Oops. In the United States. New York. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay, I think we got it. Here we go. Okay. An emotional manifesting generator. How familiar are you with your chart, with your human design chart? Ooh, a 4-1. Mm-hmm. Sorry. How familiar are you with your chart? Jai gets silly at the end. I know you were asking something earlier. Okay, earlier you were like saying something and I was like totally confused. Somewhat. What would you like to understand? I mean, like I know you said it earlier that you have like so it's interesting. So heartbreak, October 18th. So think of like, I don't do transit readings yet with human design, and so I can't compare it to anything like that. And then again, if you weren't here earlier, I was telling someone else that human design is meant to give you a very practical way of understanding yourself, so that when you live life by your design, things work out for you. When things are right, they're when you're not living in your design, actually being a emotional manifesting generator, you're going to feel frustrated in life. And if you feel frustrated for any reason because of a heartbreak or anything like that, what's happening is that you're not living in your design. So, how do you change the difficult situations in life? So that, how do you literally transmute your shadows into gifts? How do you change that frequency of frustration into satisfaction as a manifesting generator? The way that you do that is you learn what is your strategy and what is your authority, and make decision based only on your authority and your strategy, and move through life based off of the strategy. So your strategy is to respond, right? To respond to life means that you need to trust that life is bringing things to you to respond to. And the more that you learn your authority, which is emotional authority, which I would, so Tim has the same thing, right? I think so. Tim has the same thing. Okay, I'll answer that in a second. So I think, God, I'm like, losing my mind over here. But you have emotional authority. So let's just talk about you. The way to make decisions for you is you need to wait for the emotional wave. And you need to understand that you don't have clarity in the moment. When you want to know something right now, it is not possible. So when you force yourself to make decisions in the moment, you are going to make the wrong decisions. Because you are not supposed to make decisions in the moment. You're supposed to wait until you go through the high and the low of the emotional wave, and you get back to that neutral space of clarity. And from the space of clarity, when you look back, you reflect and you realize what the answer actually is. It's difficult to have the emotional authority, even though it's one of the most powerful ones, because of all the waiting that has to be done. It's waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and it's like, it's fucking exhausting, right? So learning to watch your emotions is step number 1, because you are by essence an emotional being, which means you have emotions and your emotions go up and down. And if you're not aware of that, then it's like a disservice to yourself, right? Because that's your authority. So if you don't know, like, what are you talking about? Like, wait for the emotional wave to pass. What the first step to understanding yourself is to know that you're feeling something, right? To kind of like tap into the emotions and become aware of what you're feeling. And it's not going to be difficult because you're going to be feeling it so strongly. It's going to be obvious. It'll be obvious to you for sure. May not be obvious to somebody else, but it'll obviously be, it'll be obvious to you. The heartbreak was making a bad decision in the moment. Oh, well, I mean, well, there you go. That makes sense, right? Like if you made a choice in the moment, and then that's the thing, is like you can very possibly regret decisions that you make in the moment because you didn't wait for the clarity. And it makes it hard in terms of relationships because the other person has to wait for you to finish your emotional wave, come back to center and neutral to talk about it. Like you can't be talking to somebody with emotional, I mean, you can, right? Like, but you can't, but you have to have the awareness of like, if you're talking to an emotional authority person and they're feeling really high, it's going to be really fun. And that's awesome. And like, take advantage of that and feel that and enjoy that, but know that they're in their high. And at some point they're going to go to their low, right? And it's like on and on and on. It just repeats over and over and over again. If your partner or person that you're with doesn't understand that, they might get tired of that. You know, they might get like, okay, I'm done with this, you know, high and low, high and low. But the important thing is that if people are aware, and if you're aware, specifically you're aware, you have to communicate to people like, hey, I need more time. And yourself, you can't act like that in the moment because you'll tend to not make the right choice when you give yourself time to settle and wait, right? Which is not easy. So what you have to do is just let yourself feel, but don't make decisions while you're feeling something. If you're angry, be fucking angry. If you're sad, be sad. If you're happy, be happy, right? Nobody's going to stop us from being happy, right? We're not going to stop ourselves from being happy. We're just going to get frustrated when we're not feeling happy because we're like, God, I was happy a second ago and now I feel like shit, you know? So you need to just let yourself feel without pressuring yourself to make a decision. And of course, if you're used to doing that, that's going to be hard, but it takes practice. That's why human design, they call it the experiment. You got to wait. You got to try it out. See what happens. Watch yourself. Observe yourself. Become super observant of you. Step outside of what's going on. That's going to be hard to do with emotional authority because you're in it, you know? So when you're in it, just be in it, but don't make decisions. Feel, but don't make decisions. Know, like, take a mature stance to say, I need time. You know, that's really the most important thing because that is your authority. So you have all of your centers defined. That's very unique. Like not a lot of people have that. What makes that really interesting is that it means that you have so much energy coming out of every single part of you that it's like, like you can't stop the train, you know? So it's kind of like that. Like that's what it feels like. It's full. And it's like pushing outwards, you know? Everything has consistency. Like everything has energy and it's trying to like say something, you know? And that's intense for other people. That's intense. So that's what that, you know, that's what that really means is like, you have to know this about yourself and you have to realize what effect you have on other people. Are we aware of the effect we have on other people? Right? Like I only have 2 defined centers and everything else is undefined. So I'm like a hermit. I'm also a 2-4, which is the hermit opportunist, but I hide and I retreat and I want to go away. I don't push outwards with my energy. I protect my energy because naturally I don't have that much energy. Right? I don't have that much energy myself. So I need rest and I need to be careful who I'm around. And I need to just like make sure that I'm like taking care of myself. But that's me. That's my design. You gotta find your design and take care of it on your own. But be aware of how people how you affect other people. So some people who maybe have your energy would run through the top of me with their energy, right? Knowing or not knowing, whether they realize it or not, they like that would be like a bulldozer for me. So I would have to be really aware of like what being around someone feels like. And also I may be too absent for some people because I'm like such a recluse, like quiet in my own space. Like I hide in my own little cave like a scorpion or something, and then like only come out like, you know, when I want to, kind of a thing. And so for some people that might be frustrating. Like I need to be aware of how my energy affects other people, right? So it's about awareness. So that's what that means, is that you have a lot, your energy has a lot to say and express, and it's going to be very strong. And when you say something, when you like approach it, like, woo, it's like there's a lot. So don't change yourself, but just be aware of the effect you have on other people. That's all I want to say, right? He says, very intense. Rebecca says, when I learned my human design, it all made sense. It took some of the pressure off of life. Yep, because it's who I am. Exactly. Life's work is helping people with nervous system health and energetic alignment. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, so there's one there, there's two there, there's three there. You have a quadruple, what do they call it? Yeah, quadruple split energy too, which basically is like a really crazy way of saying, and Mama O's like, I can relate, that there's a lot of like also different voices within you that all want to speak at the same time, and you're like, everybody shut up, right? And you don't know like who's talking right now, like stop, you know, like it's confusing at times to be you internally, because there's like 4 different voices that just like want to take over the scene, and all at the same time, you know. Yes. So okay, what was that? Oh, the 4-1. So you're a 4-1, an opportunist an opportunist. Oh my God, why do I forget? What's the one, you guys? Moon Goddess ladies. I'm like, my brain is going through all the systems that I know. What the heck? It's not the heretic. Investigator. Okay, the opportunist investigator. Anyways, a 4-1 has what we call in human design a juxtaposition cross. Most people have right angle cross or left angle cross. And this is something that you have to go into it deeper and like go find, you know, more information about it. But in a nutshell, what this means, okay, let me just give you the whole spectrum. Right angle cross people are here to create their own karma. They're on an adventure. They actually, they make karma, right? And then they have to deal with it. Like life is a new journey and you create it. It's like super fun. I'm just kidding. Sometimes not. I have a right angle cross. Left angle cross people are here to deal with karma from the past. Almost like all of the relationships in their lives will determine like their path, because when someone comes into your life as a left angle cross, you actually need to resolve something with that person. And if you don't, you won't heal that karma. And you are supposed to heal karma in this life. That's why it could feel heavy to have the left angle cross. But the very rare is the juxtaposition cross, which is only the 4-1 profile. If you're a 4-1, you have a juxtaposition cross. A juxtaposition cross says that you have a fate. Imagine a train on the train tracks. The train cannot veer off the train tracks. And that's really important to understand about yourself. You're not creating karma or dealing with past life karma, but your life is this sort of trajectory that no one is going to take you off of. So that's for you to reflect on. What does my life reflect? Like, the life is a mirror for you. So if you look around at your life and watch what happened in the past, you know, what's happening in the present, what are the patterns of my life? Because that will show you what that trajectory is. No one's going to take you off of it, right? So let's just do a wild example. you said you had a heartbreak, right? Maybe part of the trajectory is you're not meant to be in a committed relationship. Like, I'm just pulling that out of my ass, okay? So it's just a random example, right? Maybe that person was not the one, and the one is somewhere over there in the future that you will meet them because that's the path that you're on. So in a way, yeah, mission directed, mission oriented is a good way to put it. And also, relax. You are the one that doesn't get to worry about anything. Like, right? You're the one that just gets to have fun. Like, okay, cool. Like, I don't have to figure this out. I don't have to figure that out. No, you just live life. Follow your strategy, your authority, and surrender to life. And find the places where you feel frustrated and change. How do you change that to feel satisfied? What will bring you more satisfaction in your life? And when you do that, you will finally like be able to like take a chill pill about life. Yeah, and I don't know the situation at all, so I'm just, the things that come out or the things that are supposed to come out. That's what I always trust. Like, what I say is what I was supposed to say. Yeah, right, like a guy. And it's not as easy as it seems, because it could be like a very challenging path that you're on that you can't get off of. So that could also be true. But the truth is that if you follow your strategy and your authority, you will start to attract the right things into your life that will make you feel more satisfied, right? And will keep you on that track. Maybe you're trying to veer off the track, and that's why it's like pounding you back into the track, because you can't leave that track. So thank you so much for getting a reading tonight. Michael, everyone, Kimberly, Jeanette, Rachel, Myrna, Valerie, Tim, and Michael, thank you so much for tonight. I had a freaking blast. I really appreciate you guys. You don't know how much you support me by not just like paying for the readings, but actually by giving me an opportunity for me to be myself. I love doing this, so that's what I really treasure. And that's what I am really grateful for, to be able to do. Like, when I do these mini readings, I just feel myself just get so lit up by being able to do it, so I was meant for this. So thank you for like receiving it and recognizing me, and my gifts. I want to invite you all. So this weekend we're having a live event in the private community, the free global community. And I want to invite you guys to that. There's a link in the description, and you'll have to create your own account and go in there, and you're going to love it being in there. And it's like an enhanced community experience, way more than we can have here on the YouTube chat. And also tomorrow I'll be back, tomorrow evening, to do the astrology of the new moon. The next day, so Friday evening, I'll be back to do the human design of the new moon. And then on Saturdays when we'll have that live event. So I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, honestly. I love you guys, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Sat Nam.